Hey guys, welcome back to EB3.work. This is John Dorer, CEO of EB3.work, and today we're going to talk about labor shortages that are facing restaurant operators. Excuse me. These are multi-unit franchisees, restaurant groups that have been hit very hard by the labor shortage. And so we're going to talk about what operators can do to address the labor shortage and show you how some successful operators are hiring foreign national workers with the EB-3 visa. As everybody knows, the environment is very difficult. We recently published an article had an article published in QSR, Quick Service Restaurant magazine, about the solutions available to operators. I'll put the link in the comments section, in the description section. But there are certainly paths that operators are taking to solve their long-term staffing solutions, and it is through the EB-3 Green Card program. So I'll talk a little bit about what we do and how we do it as a way of explaining the way for operators to benefit from the program. The first thing that we do is determine if your organization qualifies to sponsor foreign national workers with the EB-3 program. And if you do, we determine how many foreign national workers you're eligible to sponsor. So we will provide you with a position profile. Let me expand that a little bit, where we ask you for the job title, job duties, minimum requirements, and work location for the positions that you wish to hire. And we will also ask you for a copy of the most recently filed tax return. And the reason is USCIS uses the tax return as evidence that you, the employer, have the ability to pay the offered wage. So as a very rough example, if you wish to hire 5 dishwashers and the offered salary is $30,000, 5 times 30,000 is 150,000. So you have to show either business income, which is net income, line 22 on Form 1065 if you're an LLC, of 150,000. So you can see in this case, this sample company qualifies. You can also qualify by using Schedule L, which is on page 5 of the 1065. And the formula is current assets, which is lines 1 through 6 under assets, minus current liabilities, which is lines 15, 16, and 17, add them up. And so in this case, we have, it looks like, current assets, about 780 in current assets and about 350 in current liabilities. The difference is about 430. So if they show 430,000 in net current assets, then they can sponsor more than they can using the net income number. So if they wanted to sponsor, let's say, 10 servers at $30,000 per year, that's $300,000, we would use Schedule L to show their ability to pay with USCIS. So that's a little bit about how the ability to pay, the qualifying assessment works. That's something we do initially. Once you're ready to engage with us, the following happens. Our immigration attorney team starts the pre-perm filing requirements. Perm is the first step of the green card process. We'll file the prevailing wage request. and we will start recruiting qualified applicants based on your minimum qualifications. We'll conduct Zoom interviews with you and with the applicants, and once you select applicants that you like and issue an offer letter, we'll start the EB-3 green card processing for them. So I want to show you a little bit about how you can find other employers in the QSR, limited service, and full service restaurant space. This is one of our websites, flcprevailingwage.com. I'll put this in the notes below. But I wanted to give a little example on how to use it. So we can use the NAICS code to search. This is a database that the Department of Labor puts out that shows other companies that have filed EB-3 green cards. So you can see if your competitors are in here or any other companies that you may be familiar with. The NAICS for limited service restaurants is 722-513. And this is for the first 3 quarters of 2022. And we can see it lists the companies that are using, that are filing green card programs. So you can kind of use this to search. You can filter by your state. You can filter by job title. For example, let's say we want to see if anybody is sponsoring dishwashers. Click search, and we can see companies that are sponsoring 1 or 2 or many dishwashers. And what these companies are doing, they are preparing their staffing for 12, 18, 24 months out. So if you're a restaurant group, if you're a multi-unit franchisee, and you are thinking about expanding, opening up a new territory, but you don't know how you're going to staff those stores, the EB-3 green card is a great solution, and you can see that other companies in this space are taking advantage and benefiting from the EB-3 program. So let's jump back, talk a little bit about the process. There are 3 steps in the process. Number 1 is called Perm Labor Certification. And essentially, this is where the employer files and receives the prevailing wage. There's a minimum wage for foreign national workers that's based on job title, job duties, minimum requirements, and work location. So our team files that on your behalf. It takes about 6 months. And there's 1 prevailing wage request per job title. So if you have 20 dishwashers that you want to hire or multiple openings for the dishwasher position, it's just 1 prevailing wage request. If you want to sponsor dishwashers, servers, and hosts or hostesses, that's 3 prevailing wage requests. The prevailing wage request takes about 6 months. The next step is the perm advertising, and this is where the employer is required to advertise the position to U.S. workers and then show the Department of Labor that they could not hire enough workers for this position that they need. Once the perm is certified or approved by the Department of Labor, then step 2 is filing the I-140 petition with Immigration, USCIS. And this is where we file the I-140 with the tax return to show that you qualify to sponsor the applicant workers with USCIS and that you have the ability to pay the offered wage. Once the I-140 is approved, step 3 is either adjustment of status or consular processing. Adjustment of status is if the applicant worker is in the U.S. Many times, these applicants will be in F1 status as a student visa, or maybe a temporary worker like H-2B, or exchange visitor like J-1. And it simply means that we're filing from temporary visitor to permanent residence. That's what adjustment of status is. If they're outside the U.S., the process is called consular processing. And that's where the U.S. Embassy in their country is notified, and they're called in for the green card interview. They get their passport stamped with the permanent residence approval, and they can come to the U.S. to start work. So in both cases, once their Step 3 is approved, that means their green card is approved, they're a permanent resident. It's good for 10 years. They can renew it beyond 10 years by requesting with USCIS. They can apply for citizenship. And most importantly, they can start work for you. And most employees will work for you for at least 12 months, at least 1 year. And they know that if they don't do that, that their permanent resident status is in jeopardy, and their ability to file for citizenship or extend their permanent residence is at risk. And so you will find that these are highly motivated workers that are grateful for you for sponsoring them. They want to please you. They want to. They've invested their time and resources into immigrating to the U.S. And this is their first step, is fulfilling their employment requirement with you. Now, what most employers do is they will keep the EB-3 going on a rolling program. And what that means is they will come to us and say, okay, I need to continue staffing. For example, I want to bring 10 dishwashers every 6 months, or 15 servers, or 20 servers, or 100 servers, or hosts or line cooks every 12 months. And so what our team does is we will continue the pre-filing, the pre-perm process of filing the prevailing wage request and doing the advertising. And so you are ensured of having a steady flow of workers to come fill the positions that you're unable to fill with U.S. workers. So that is a semi-brief explanation of the EB-3 program and how it can help restaurant operators. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and look for us in the next video. Take care.